Hi everyone, welcome to Harsha Trainings. In this video, we are going to cover what is cybersecurity, what is VAPT domain. Let's move on to this demo session.
Yeah. Yep. Hi everyone. I can see that Varun, Mazhar, Pratyusha. Yep. Hi guys. Can you just confirm me whether you can able to hear me and see my screen?
Yes, I can hear you. Sorry.
Yep. Thanks. Okay. So um, so let's get started actually. Right. So let's start this demo session first by understanding what is cybersecurity and why it is important. And in cybersecurity, okay, what is VAPT domain and what actually we do when it comes to VAPT, okay, and what are the different tools that we use and what kind of a prerequisites are required to get started into the cybersecurity, uh, especially like into the vulnerability assessment and penetration testing. And I'll show you the couple of and also we'll review the entire course content, okay, whichever is been given to you from the institute. And I'll show you the couple of demos, okay, in my own lab. Okay, so I have my own lab, okay, where I have installed multiple operating systems. So yep, with the help of this lab, I'll show you a small demo, yeah, which is like network and web application demo. Then afterwards I'll take your uh, you know questions. uh, yeah, so first, what is cybersecurity is, right? So cybersecurity refers to the body of technologies, processes, and the practice designed to protect the network devices, programs, and the data from the attack, damage, or unauthorized access, right? So whichever the device it is connected to internet, okay, which has some kind of a sensitive information, so we have to protect it, okay, from the hackers, okay, to prevent the damage and unauthorized access by using the security best practices, okay, and processes. That is the cybersecurity. So when you're working as a cybersecurity consultant, okay, or information security consultant for any organization, so your responsibility is to basically protect their infrastructure, okay, by using the security best practices and process and processes which are designed. So why it's important to start, okay, I mean, yeah, why security is important. So as you are aware, security is one of the booming domain. Okay, it's been encompassed into all the areas. Okay, we have the network security, cloud security, web security, database security, IoT, etc., etc. Because let's say, I'm developing a web application, okay, which is a banking application, um, and I'm not conducting any kind of a security testing. Okay, let's say I'm not doing any kind of penetration testing assessments. I'm just directly deploying into the production. So there is a chance that hackers can misuse that, okay, application by exploiting the existed vulnerabilities in it, right? So 100%, we have to also see that application before deploying into the production, okay, whether it is safe, okay, uh, kind of a thing. So we also do the security penetration testing on that application, okay, source code review on that okay, application, then we'll safely deploy it into the production, right? So similarly it can be applied for all the other domains as well. And cyber threats are increasing day by day, okay. There are various types of data breaches which are happening in the internet. So we can simply just you know go to the one of the website where we can see all the various types of data breaches in a very good graphical visualized format is uh, information beautiful.net. So under the information beautiful.net, we have the visualizations, then we have the world's biggest data breaches and hacks. So if you see here, there are many big players, okay, which got hacked, and their uh, their personal information, I mean to say the client's information, uh, the customers information, the products information, okay, are out. Okay, if you see, Amazon reviews have been compromised, Facebook data, okay, is also compromised, Canvas, Dubsmash, okay, Microsoft, right? So Allianz, okay, this is like insurance company, right? So there are many data breaches are happening. So security is, like, I can say, it's kind of a mandatory for every organization to prevent such a kind of a data breaches, because if our uh, company is also affected to the data breach, the impact will be very bad, right? So customers may not uh, trust us, or we lose the business, right? So the impact will be depends what kind of data is also going out. So ideally, we are the customers who will be accessing over here, right, into the Facebook or Dubsmash, Canva, and other places. So how can you check yourself whether you are whether you are part of any one of the data breach? I mean, everybody will be having that question in their mind. Okay, so I'm the basic user of Microsoft and Facebook and Canva and Dubsmash, right? I'm using these applications from the very long time, and you're saying they got hacked and breached and my personal data is out in the internet. So how can I check, okay, if my email address or passwords are associated with any one of the data breach over here is? So there is a website called haveibeenpawned.com. Okay, so this is developed by a security researcher called Troy Hunt. Okay, he's from Australia. So he just linked with all the compromised accounts, okay, to this website. So here you can just give your email address or phone number, and it'll tell you, okay, if in case if it is effect if in case if it is identified, or identified in any one of the data breach. So whenever you identified that in any one of the data breach, simply you can just go and change your password immediately and delete your account. Okay, so that's how basically we can verify whether our information is out in the any uh, data breach. Okay, uh, and also, like, there are different types of frauds, phishing attacks are happening, right? So in this course also, okay, whatever the course we are learning in a VAPT, so in this course also I'm gonna teach you first in an offensive way, because once you understand the things in offensive way, okay, it's very easy for us to prevent and mitigate them, right? So instead of like how the attack will happen, okay, teaching instead of how the attack will happen, so I'll show you how to exploit that vulnerability. It could be any vulnerability, it could be a network vulnerability, or it could be the application layer vulnerability. I'll show you the impact, so that, okay, you will concentrate more on offensive part, okay, rather than looking into the defensive part, right? So, like, easily you will understand when I am teaching exploiting those vulnerabilities in offensive way. Okay, then later we'll discuss about the countermeasure parts, okay, to prevent those vulnerabilities. So yep, so that's the reason I have given the statement over here, saying that if you want to beat a bad guy, you need to be think like a bad guy. Okay, then only you can able to prevent from the various types of attacks. And every companies nowadays have their own cyber security, cyber defending team, and there are a lot of job opportunities also out across the world, and one of the highest paid job markets, okay, is cyber security. And most of the people also think that to become a uh, VAPT engineer or penetration tester, do we require the programming language? So, frankly speaking, we are the penetration testers. Okay, if you have the programming language, that's not going to harm you anything. That's the advantage for you. If you don't have the programming language, also that's fine, because here we are going to use the different types of tools, okay, to perform our uh, you know day-to-day uh, engagements. So, yep, let's come back to the course. Okay, VAPT. Okay, vulnerability assessment and penetration testing. So VAPT is actually a service which is given by which is given to the client, okay, to secure their infrastructure. So actually, what is the uh, you know vulnerability assessment is? Okay, what is the vulnerability is actually? Okay, when I say vulnerability assessment, uh, okay, so first let's discuss about what is vulnerability is. Okay, so vulnerability is basically a weakness, a flaw, or it's an entry point for a hacker, right? So whenever the hacker identifies this vulnerability in any system, uh, network, or in application, they try to exploit these vulnerabilities to enter into the application to take the advantage over it. So vulnerability assessment is a process of systematic review of a security weaknesses in an information system. It evaluates if the system is susceptible to any known vulnerabilities, assigns severity levels to those vulnerabilities, and recommended recommendations and mitigation. So when I say vulnerability, it's just a weakness. So when I say vulnerability assessment, so it's a systematic approach towards identifying the vulnerabilities in the infrastructure. Okay, uh, to it's just like evaluating for the suspectable non vulnerabilities, and it will also assign a severity. Okay, each vulnerability has a severity. Okay, starting from the severity 10 to 1. So depending on let's say if it is severity 10, okay, it will be a critical vulnerability. So this severity will be decided depending on the different parameters, like depending on how bad it is, okay, how easily hackers can able to exploit it. Okay, and yep. So this process, uh, I mean these tools, like here I have highlighted a couple of tools like Nessus vulnerability scanner, Qualys vulnerability scanner, and Rapid7. So these are the very well-known tool which are used by the organizations to run their vulnerability assessment program in their infrastructure. Okay, in their organization. So these tools will automatically scan their infrastructure periodically, and it'll give you all the suspectable vulnerabilities, and it itself will assign the severity levels to each vulnerabilities with the recommendations. Okay, so these all very mature tools, okay, which I have listed over here. There are many other tools also available, open source tools also available, but these are the tools which are mostly being used in the organization. So this is a one part. Okay, vulnerability assessment is one part. So you can apply this vulnerability assessment concept for network and application also. Okay, so in application also it will give you all the application related vulnerabilities, right? So uh, any questions, guys? Is it okay? Am I going fast?
That should be fine. Yep.
Okay.
So in our
Yeah.
training, Sai, what we are going to learn next is Qualis or Rapid here.
So it's your wish. Okay. I'm open for anything. Okay. I'll teach you two tools. One is Nessus to Pakka, because that is something that directly we can deploy into our local machine, and we can run the scan in our local network. But Qualys is the cloud-based tool. Okay, uh, they are also giving the trial version for 30 days. Okay, I want you to go and register individually into the Qualys, so that I can also teach you the Qualys over there.
Okay.
Okay, so yeah, and almost all the tools are same. Okay, once you understand the entire vulnerability management life cycle, okay, you can able to use any tool. So yep, I think yep. Any questions from anyone?
Hi, Sai, this is Pratyusha.
Eh,
I would like to know, you said that there is programming required. I mean, if you know programming, that is well and good. So what kind of programming would you prefer if we have to go ahead with this? cybersecurity course, what would you
Okay.
recommend that we should know?
Yep. So it depends in again, which in which path you would like to go for. Let's say if you would like to go for secure coding, okay. So it's good to have some kind of a backend language, uh, like maybe PHP or Java, okay, because most of the applications will be building on those applications. So if you have a knowledge about those programming language, it's very good, okay. And let's say if you want to go for an automated uh, you know automated side, or let's say if you want to write your own tool, or you know so you can go with the Python, okay. So Python with security has good um, market now, okay. So yeah, so if any programming language is fine actually, frankly speaking, okay. But when you ask specially what programming language, I suggest you or recommend you to go with the Python or Java, okay, or any kind of a backend language.
Thank you.
Yep. Yep. So this is about the vulnerability assessment is all about. Then what is penetration testing? So we can also call it as a pen test. So this is an authorized simulated attack performed on a computer system to evaluate its security. So let's say you have identified all the security weaknesses, okay, in the system with the help of the vulnerability assessment tools. Now what we do is we actually perform the attack, okay, by exploiting those vulnerabilities, by taking the permission, okay. That's the reason here you can see it's authorized simulated attack, right? Whatever the tools and techniques that real hacker will be using to penetrate into the network, so we also use the same tools and techniques and methodology to simulate the network, okay. So sorry, simulate the attack on the network or system to evaluate its security posture, okay. And whenever we are doing this penetration testing, we will also capture the proof of concepts, like we'll also take the screenshots. Then while we are creating the report, okay, we'll include this proof of concept saying that this is the method that I have used and this is the tool I have used, the entire step by step procedure, like how I am basically able to penetrate into the system. And we send these reports to the client, okay. Client will if in case if you have a chance to coordinate with the development team to mitigate those vulnerabilities, or infrastructure team or patch management team, you can just coordinate with them to apply the patches so that we'll be safe, right? If in case let's say uh, you know um, we are not doing the penetration testing, let's assume attacker is already doing the penetration testing, sorry, vulnerability assessment scans, and let's say if he's identifying the vulnerabilities, they penetrated before us, right? And their intention is totally a bad intention, okay. They may sabotage the network, or they may misuse the uh, network, right? They may bring down the servers. But here we perform the penetration testing, okay, to identify the various types of loopholes that a hacker can uh, you know may able to enter into it. Then later we'll patch it so that no one able to enter using the same way. So part of penetration testing, we use the Kali Linux operating system. I think you are very much aware about it. This is made by the creators of Kali is Offensive Security. So uh, yep, it has all the tools which are pre-installed. Uh, so we use this Kali Linux operating system for our penetration testing assessment. It's open source, has lot of tools pre-installed. uh, yeah, it's meant for security, engineers, penetration testers, and forensic people. Yeah, of course, we'll go with the Kali Linux operating system to yeah perform this penetration testing. And this is Bob Suite, okay, which is a framework for application penetration testing, which has all the different tools like intruder, repeater, uh, you know, proxy, site, collaborator. Okay, so we use this Bob suite for uh, you know automated penetration testing and as well as the manual penetration testing. So depending on uh, let's say if you have the professional, you will be having the more options and you can able to perform the automated penetration testing as well. Okay, if you don't have the, we can just use the community edition. Then we have the nmap, which is the network mapper to identify the various open ports in the uh, system or a server. We use this nmap, and metasploit is a very famous penetration testing automated penetration testing tool. Okay, so yep, not only these tools, we are going to use the other whole bunch of tools also a part of this course, right? So okay, so this is about the simple uh, this is about just the high overview of the what is vulnerability assessment and penetration testing is and what tools we use it, and what prerequisites are required to get started. So of course we required the technical skills and non-technical skills. Okay, so when it comes to technical skills, uh, here uh, we should be, I mean, see, uh, attacks will happen through network. Let's say you have hosted your server uh, in some data center, or let's say you have hosted your server maybe in your local premises. So I might be sitting somewhere else, somewhere else in the internet. So when I'm planning to attack your server, okay, so I'll be attacking through network, right? So having an understanding about the basic networking concepts like OSA model, TCP/IP model, what is the IP address, what is the different types of topologies, like uh, some of the common, uh, most common used protocols, right? So we should have a basic understanding about the networking skills. Okay, so then you will easily understand the network layer attacks. Okay, and of course we are going to use the Kali Linux operating system. Okay, so how to handle this Kali Linux operating system, basic commands, how to handle the terminal. Okay, so permissions. So basic understanding about the Kali Linux tools, Kali Linux commands is also you know skills that we required, and playing with the virtualization tool. So it's very easy. Okay, so we use maybe VirtualBox or VMware. Uh, so how to create the virtual machines. Okay, so managing the virtual machines is another technical skills that we required, and basic understanding about the okay how web application works and what is a server and different types of servers. Okay, so this is just a basic technical skills that we are required. And what is non-technical skills? Okay, as an ethical hacker, as a information security guy, okay, we have to be patient. Okay, to understand various types of security issues, like security vulnerabilities, because security is a very vast industry. Every day there are new vulnerabilities will be coming up. Okay, to understand them, uh, to check whether it is applicable to our infrastructure or not. Okay, to provide the mitigations to the respective team. Okay, sometimes even you need to take a deep dive into it to understand the technical part also. Okay, even if it is not belongs to your domain, kind of a thing. So yep, good to have patience and self-learning and googling skills to understand and get the required information from the internet, and updating ourselves, okay, to to get the day-to-day vulnerabilities. Okay, so it's good to have these all the non-technical skills as well, right? So when it comes to non-technical skills, yeah, of course, you will be getting it, okay, part of a course. But what about technical skills? Okay, do we have these technical skills are included into the course that we are going to cover, right? So let's go and have a look at into the let's just go and simply go and have a review about the course content. Okay, uh, so of course this course is designed in such a way that okay, here we are also covering the network basics, installation of the Kali Linux operating system. You can see here, first session we have the very basic introduction about the cybersecurity, different types of hackers. Okay, who is an ethical hacker, what's the salary and different domains. Okay, so yeah, basically now I'm covering this part of demo kind of a thing, right? Then we'll go for the frequently asked questions, and yeah, we'll also do the introduction, which each and every person to yeah, basically to understand and what exactly you guys are looking for, so that easily for me to provide the required skills to you. And yep, so as I said, they have also added the very basic networking skills. Like you can see it starting from the OSI TCP IP model, what is a network, different types of topologies, and difference between the IP4 and IP6, public and private network, and some of the basic networking commands like IP, IF, ping, trace, and netstat. Okay, so yep, we'll give you the very basic knowledge about the network and commonly used protocols um, over here. Then okay, then here we have the lab setup. So here it is mentioned as a VMware, but I suggested to go with the virtual box because it's gonna something which takes the less RAM and very easy to play with. Okay, so here we'll install our own Kali Linux operating system and some of the vulnerable operating systems too. So the lab will be like this. Okay, so we'll be having our own Kali Linux operating system, okay, which is installed. uh, then okay, we'll also install some of the vulnerable operating systems like web pen test or game over or metasploitable 1 or metasploitable 2 or any latest operating systems like windows 11, windows 7 or server. Okay, uh, okay, so I mean Kali Linux operating system is an attacker system for us, and we'll be targeting the other operating system, other vulnerable operating systems to learn our skills. Okay, and basics about the Kali Linux operating system commands and tools. So all the prerequisites are covered. So we'll be covering it first a couple of sessions, like 7 to 8 sessions. We'll be covering about all basic stuff. Okay, then we'll start with the network layer attacks first. Okay, because let's say I have a web server, okay, which is hosted and running into the website. Okay, so that's a web server. So what you thought was close all the ports. Okay, don't expose any ports to the internet. Just expose only ports like 80 and 443 because it's just a web server. Okay, and when I am performing the when I am planning to perform the network related attacks, even I have identified that only port number 80 and 443 running, and those are also not vulnerable, running the latest versions of the port. Okay, if in case if there is any other ports which are open, not been properly configured, which are exposed to the internet, okay, hacker will try to identify the vulnerabilities on those open ports and they exploit it. Okay, that's fine. So nowadays, there's all the different types of network layer attacks can be easily prevented with the help of the network security devices like firewalls and IDS and IPS, and yeah, implementing the network related configurations. Okay, that's fine. But the same web application, okay, which is exposing to the internet, okay, can be compromised if in case if there is no application security, okay, in it. You got my point. Not only having the network security is important, okay, application security is also important because your open port 18443 for the public, okay, like you and me, and hacker can also access that. So through that application, okay, he will compromise the web server as well, even if it is secured. Okay, so here we will learn network layer attacks and application layer attacks as well. Okay, so when it comes to network layer attacks, so we use the LPT methodology, okay, which is suggested by the EC Council. So there I'll show you how to compromise the Windows machine, Android machine, how to exploit them, okay, in a systematical way using the Metasploit, Nmap, Wireshark kind of a tools. Okay, uh, then we'll start with the OAPS top 10 vulnerabilities. Okay, are you aware about what is OAPS is?
No.
Okay, so when it comes to application penetration testing, all the organizations, like most of the organizations, will use this OAuth top 10 methodology to conduct the penetration testing. Okay, so if you go to oaps.org, top 10 project. Okay, so this is the OAups page. So what is the OAups? Is basically it's a community. Okay, open web application security project. So what is the main motive of this? It's open source community. Okay, what is the main motive of this community? Is they analyze the various types of application related attacks. Okay, depending on that, they also release the top 10 vulnerabilities every 3 to 4 years. So last time it was like 2017, they have released the top 10 vulnerabilities, and yeah, the recent one is 2021. So here is the top 10 vulnerabilities. So organizations will use this OAuth methodology to test their web application. Okay, it has various different types of attacks, like you can see injection attacks, broken authentication, sensitive data exposure. Okay, XML external entity, broken access control, security misconfigurations, cross-site scripting, insecure deserialization, using components with non-vulnerabilities, and insufficient logging and monitoring. And okay, so what are the new things that they have added into the 2021 is like, one is insecure design, another one is software and data integrity failures, and SSRF, server side request forgery. So we are going to cover all this application layer attacks. Okay, uh, and the same thing is also included over here in the syllabus. So if you see here, we have uh, half of the sessions, uh, you know which are application related attacks. Okay, so once you're done with OAuth top 10 testing, you can apply the same testing test methodology in your organization also. Okay, and you can test the applications, and you can identify the vulnerabilities, and you can report that to the respective teams by, yep, respective uh, people, right? So in the organization also, we use the same tools and same methodology to perform the application testing. So this is all about the syllabus. uh, this is all about the course content for the, yeah, VAPT. So part of it will learn the VAPT for network and application. Okay, web application penetration testing. uh, yeah, any questions, concerns about this syllabus? I feel yeah, it's it's good, because they are added all the required uh, things. I mean, from starting from the very basic. So once you complete this course, you will be landing into the, yeah, advanced. Yep.
So what about the certifications? Like what certifications do we have to give, like take after the course?
Okay. So I suggest you, if you don't have any certification in the cybersecurity, okay, till the date, start with the ethical hacking. So that is the one of the demanding certification. Okay, that most of the people will look for. And once you have the certification, it will also help you to, uh, I mean, what I can say is you will also get the interview calls, okay, easily. uh, so that is a one basic certification I suggest you. Okay, CH. After that, okay, you can also go for the CPENT. Okay, we have something called certified penetration tester. Yeah, you can also go for that CPENT. These all the initial level certifications. Okay, and again, let's say if you want to become uh, a core technical guy, okay, we have the OSCP, that is from the offensive security. So yep, that is uh, the offensive security certification, OSCP. Then let's say, like after 10 years, maybe I want to become a manager. Okay, like, let's say I want to become a techno manager in the security itself. Okay, you can go for the CISSP. So likewise, you have to design your path. Uh, yeah.
Okay, are we covering all concepts of ethical hacking for certification or?
Yes. Okay, in the network layer attack. Okay, when once we start the network layer related attacks, right? So we cover almost all the syllabus which is there in the CH as well.
Okay.
Yeah. This is
So with,
moreover. Yeah.
so with this course, we'll be able to do CH and CPENT as well.
Huh. I mean, not all the concepts I can say. Okay. Because like if you take a CH syllabus, um, okay, I'll just quickly clarify your doubts. Uh, if you go to EC Council page to certified ethical hackers, so there you'll be having total 20 different modules. Okay, so these 20 different modules, uh, I mean, we may not cover each and everything in a very detailed way. Okay, here also if you see, first we have the hackers methodology. Okay, so we have the vulnerability assessment, we have nmap, okay, network scanning part, and we'll be not having this social engineering over here or denial of a service over here. We'll be having like web server hacking over here. Okay, session hijacking also over here. Okay, web application related attacks also here. SQL injection also over here. Mobile hacking we are learning it. Okay, only few things like wireless hacking is not there, and cloud computing is not there. Yeah, cryptography is also there over here. Okay, what is the difference between the hashing, encoding, and encryption? So here we'll discuss about the basics of cryptography as well. So most of the courses, I mean most of the syllabus that's there in the CH, okay, it's been added over here. Okay, and apart of that, we are moreover focusing on the web application penetration testing as well. There we have only limited modules for the web application penetration testing, like maybe few attacks and with the SQL injection. So here we have almost all the web application related attacks. Okay, so after this course, of course, you can go and appear for the CH as well. Okay, so um, yep, I can also help you if in case if you required any additional things to be added over here, and maybe exam, support for exam kind of thing. Yeah, what all the questions may come. Yeah, how you need to prepare. Yeah, yeah, Pratisha.
Yeah, thanks, Sai. So this is a 1.5 month course, right?
Yep,
Okay, thank you.
yeah. So yeah, this is about the uh, just overview of the course and what we are going to cover. So I'll show you a quickly small demo. Okay. Uh, so
One
that you
more
can
side,
understand.
like a quick
Yeah,
question.
yeah,
So
yes.
I'm an IT graduate, but I have been working in non-technical from last 4 to 5 years. So do you think will this be a compatible, like, do you think will I be able to like take on the course?
Yes, you can take. Okay, there is no restrictions. Okay, like you're already working. I mean, you're already working in IT. Okay, from past four
Working
years.
in IIT, but it's a non-tech, like most on the business processes.
Yes, there is no restrictions. Okay, to get into cybersecurity. Um, so only one thing is, anyway, it's very interesting subject. Okay, hacking is a very very interesting subject for everyone. So with the same interest, you start learning all the different concepts. Okay, and um, you know go and give the interviews. So definitely you will be able to crack it, because see, if you have the technical skills to tell them, hey, this is how the things will work in cybersecurity and this is what it is. Okay, easily they can hire you, right?
Mhm.
So skills are required over here. Okay, part of what background you are. And nowadays most of the people are actually moving from the one domain to cybersecurity. That's what I have been observing from 3 to 4 years also, because of the demand, and because of the packages. Okay, and because someone like with the interest, they are just moving from the other domain to security. So in your case is also it's same.
So after finishing the course, can we expect like I'm like it depends on the applicant only. So can we expect like can we go ahead by having like 2 to 3 years of experience?
Yes. Okay,
It's
that we
purely
can discuss
depend on
off screen.
me, definitely.
Exactly, I totally got it, but I think we'll discuss and we'll take this in offline. Okay, so that I can
Okay,
guide you better with
okay,
that.
fine. Okay, I'll contact.
Yep. Uh, okay. Is there any other questions from Varun? Varun, are you good with it? Okay, cool. I think there is no question. Says silence. Yep. So I'll show you a very small demo, like um how the hackers will basically exploit the remote code execution vulnerabilities to get into the system. So I'll start my Windows 7 in the virtual box, and these both the systems are running in the bridge mode. Okay, so that both are reachable to each other. And I'm already running the Kali Linux operating system from the very long time. Okay, let me close this because I'm running it from last 2 3 days. So I think it's not responding. Yeah, let me start this one as well. Is there anything else is also running? Okay.
I think Varun has posted a question. After completion of the course, can I be able to hack?
Yes, of course. When you will understand how the hacks are happening and how we can hack, uh, yeah, how we can secure. So maybe after this demo, you will get a better understanding of what we are going to cover or learn.
Sai, how about the practice sessions? What are the softwares that we need to install on our systems to practice? Would you be giving us the details?
Yes, so we'll be using the Kali Linux operating system. So it has all the tools which are pre-installed. Okay, so I'll help you guide you how to install this Kali Linux operating system in your local system. Okay, by creating a virtual environment. So most of the tools are already pre-installed. So yep, I think this is enough. If anything is required, yep, I'll also help you to get it installed directly into the Kali itself, because this is meant
Okay.
for security people. Okay, somebody who is teaching maybe ethical hacking or penetration testing without Kali, that will not make sense. Okay,
Yep. Thanks.
yep. So yep, so these all the different tools. So we'll discuss about the Kali later. So yep, it's a part of demo. I would like to just open the terminal. Okay, this is something which we call it as a terminal. Sudo su. So I have taken the root access. So root is like administrator. Okay, uh, just a minute. Yep. So most of the tools are required the yeah root level privileges, like root access. So it's better that directly we can take the root access first. So to identify, let's say there is a system which is running on my network, which is Windows 7. To identify what is the IP address of this Windows 7 and how many systems are connected inside my network. Okay, what I'll do is I'll just simply do a nmap scan for host discovery on my network. Before that, let me go and identify what is my IP. So it's 192.168.60.254. It's a class 3 private IP address. So I'll just use nmap hyphen small s small n for host discovery, and here I'll initiate the scan for entire my network. Okay, starting from the 1 to 254. So it is like kind of a host discovery scan. It will go and probe each and every system in the network, and it'll tell you how many systems are alive. So here there are 4 systems are up. Okay, so one is the of course router, and one is my Kali Linux operating system, and one is another Windows operating system like that we have started in the virtual network, and one is the local host. Okay, so apart of this there is no other systems are connected. So the one which is running in the Oracle virtual box, okay, is I'm not suspecting it's just a Windows 7. Okay, so I'll also initiate the scan on 60.1. Okay, um, so I'm just initiating a scan on the Windows 7 to identify what all the open ports are in the Windows 7. So these open ports are something which are entry points for hacker. Okay, so we'll discuss about these ports, protocols, how to close this ports, and what all the services will run. Okay, in a detailed way when we actually get into the session. So here there are like almost how many ports are open? Like almost 10 ports are open. Okay, and running different services. So now we need to validate. Okay, what versions of this ports are running. Okay, so that let's say if you assume like there is one particular. Okay, let me do one thing. Let me install. Okay, so I think you guys are aware that the Windows 7 is EOL operating system. Do you know what is EOL is? End of life. Okay, which means that Microsoft is not or no longer is supporting this operating system. Okay, if somebody is using this EOL operating system, it's you know of course with their own risk, because there are no patches if in case if there is any existed vulnerabilities, okay, into this operating system. Okay, so uh, so just 40% is done. Yep. So we got the version details also. So it's just a new operating system that I have installed. There is no other services are running apart of the default services. But here in Windows 7, okay, port number 445, okay, there is a service called Microsoft DS, which is SMB. Port number 445 is basically SMB, server messaging block protocol, which we use it for internal file sharing. Okay, like let's say you and me both are connected to the same network and I want to do some internal file sharing, so I'll be doing with this SMB protocol itself. So SMB is enabled and it's also disclosing the operating system, what operating system they are using. So if I simply Google it and if I go and check it out in the vulnerable databases, I'll get to know that okay, it will be running SMB version 1, which is actually vulnerable. Okay, so SMB version 1. Okay, when I type SMB version 1 vulnerability, you'll be having the so many results. Maybe you can also go and have a look at into the some of the vulnerable databases. Or if you scan this same system with the help of the any tool like Qualys and Nessus, okay, it will also tell you the uh, you know it will also tell you the same system is having so many vulnerabilities. So SM is always vulnerable in Windows, guys. So I'm just searching for Windows 7. Yep. So how many results? There are 29 results. You can see almost like 29 different types of vulnerabilities are existed in the SMB version 1. Okay, so out of this 29 we need to check which is the exploitable, because finding the vulnerabilities, that's fine. Okay, I mean, once you identify the vulnerability, you can also report them saying that there is a vulnerability, you can patch it. Okay, instead of exploiting it. But whenever I say the penetration testing is basically exploiting those vulnerabilities if to see if we can able to really get into the system or not. So okay, so I'm already aware about this exploit. Okay, this is eternal blue vulnerability. Okay, which is basically remote code execution vulnerability for SMB. Uh, so let's directly. So of course, it has the eternal blue uh, vulnerability. To exploit that eternal blue vulnerability, we use the metasploit tool. Okay, I'm just explaining the high level of thing, but when it comes to the course, we use the actual tools to identify whether it is vulnerable or not. Okay, or when you use the tools like Nessus and Qualys, okay, it will also give you the vulnerabilities in a very good graphical representation with the mitigations. Okay, let's say here are the some of the scans that I have done it. You can see here. Okay, this is how the reports will be generated by the tools like Nessus and Qualys. Okay, it will also tell you where it is basically the vulnerabilities existed. Okay, it will also confirm by running some commands into the target system port. Okay, in which port it is identified. Okay, with the countermeasures also, like what is the solution that we need to apply. Okay, yep. So we'll do this. So actually, I am into the Metasploit tool now. Okay, I'm into the Metasploit console. I know that there is SMB version 1, okay, which is vulnerable for eternal blue port number 445. So what I'll do is the Metasploit itself is have their own database with publicly available exploits. So I'm just searching over here in their database whether there is eternal blue, okay, exploit is available. So you can see there is an eternal blue exploit is available. So I'll just simply copy this exploit. I will use it. Okay, this vulnerability is identified by someone else, and this exploit is also uh, available in the internet. Okay, which is created by this some other security researcher. We are just using it. Okay, with the help of the Metasploit tool. So here we need to give the R host details, the target IP address where you would like to run it, and the R port, okay, where you would like to run it. So our R host is Windows 7. So I'm just giving the Windows 7 IP address over here, which is 60.1, and I'll just simply exploit it. Okay, so the exploitation is happening, and if it is successful, directly it will give you the system shell will be inside the Windows 7 operating system. You can see here the exploitation is successfully happened, and we are actually entered into the Windows 7 system. You can see there is one session is open between the my Kali Linux operating system to Windows 7 system. So if I type like sysinfo now, you can see I'm inside the Windows 7. I can also take a shell. You can see I have the system 32 shell, which means the administrative uh, access. Okay, now I can also navigate to the different directories. Okay, I can check how many users are there. Okay, and I can also I can also go to the, let's say, yep, Windows 7 user. Okay, I can go to desktop and I'll see what all the things are present. Okay, there is a Chrome setup.exe and there is a folder called hack. Okay, let's go and see whether these things are there. Yep, Chrome setup is there, hacked is also there, right? let's say let me delete that hack directory. Sorry, here we have to use remove dir. Okay, yeah, you can see it's actually removed. I mean, just to prove you that I'm inside the system, I have deleted it, but the hackers, they don't do such kind of silly things. Okay, they create a persistent access by installing some what we say malwares. Okay, they navigate to the one system to another system, etc. Right? Yep, this is a small demo regards to the network. Uh, yep, network related attacks. So similar to that, we'll also learn the application layer attacks as well. Okay, so don't worry, the commands what I have run, okay, you will be learning in a systematic way. Okay, but yeah, this is just part of a demo. I would like to, you know, cover it. Yeah. Any questions, guys? So I'm done with the small demo. Just let me know if you have any questions for me. Yep.